We have got you. It's gonna be okay. We can't replace the mementos that you lost. Everything else is going to be taken care of.
Hey, Matt Smith here with Matt Smith Real Estate Group, and we are here with one of our trusted vendors, American Family Insurance, Tony Froehlich. Tony, thank you so much for being here.
Appreciate it. Welcome to my office.
Dude, as always, it's so great to see you guys. We were greeted with so many smiles and love seeing your name and all that you guys do for the community.
Appreciate that. We do try to be as involved with the community as we can.
Yeah, and everywhere we look, it's you guys are always involved. So
well as you guys.
Yeah, we try to be, right?
There you go.
We talked about this off camera, right? Is that we're in the relationship business, and that's one thing we focus on each and every day, is that they're not just a name, they're actually a customer, right? And we take their business very serious, that they trust us with their insurance, buying or selling real estate, whatever it may be. I think you and I have that in common.
We do, and I think with both of us, especially, well, in real estate, I guess they almost have to be doing something local. Mm-hmm. For most, but with us, they do have other options. Mm-hmm. It's so important that people do support our local community by buying local so that we can then support the community and buy local.
100%. I think just thinking out loud is that having that local person that you can trust when do you need insurance in life? It's when things go wrong. When you're at your worst, when life happens, which happens to all of us, I think it's very important to have someone in your corner that you can trust, like you guys.
I use the analogy quite often that when things are going wrong and when the insurance legalese starts being thrown at them over a phone conversation, to be able to come in and sit down across from Emily, from Katie, from Mark, from myself back here, and just be able to be person to person. Yes. And make sure we're on the same page.
Yeah, versus trying to get someone on the phone on a 1-800 number and you're transferred to the next person. You have local people here that understand the community and are here to support and help.
We take ownership in what we do. We do have corporate people, of course. There are the adjusters that do the behind the scenes work like that, but at the end of the day, we're going to be as involved as we need to be to make things go right.
Speaking of being in the relationship business, one of the things that I love hearing is stories, success stories. I know that unfortunately success is kind of a weird word in the insurance business, but I think that when people are in those trying times, I'm sure there's some amazing stories you've been able to help people. What are some of those stories that stick out to you?
So a bit ago, probably a year and a half ago, we had a local person that started off as clients of mine, became friends of ours in the whole office, and they had a total loss house fire. Mm-hmm. Happened on the weekend. They came we heard about it, went to the fire scene, did what we could, which is basically just to comfort people. The next morning they come in and it was just able to offer them the security of just a hug, the comfort of, just say, hey, we have got you. It's gonna be okay. We can't replace the mementos that you lost. Everything else is going to be taken care of. And it has been. It's been they're in a phenomenal place now with a brand new home and brand new possessions. You can't replace the emotional part and what they went through and what they lost, but everything else we did.
Yeah, it actually speaks to me. I don't know if you knew this or not, but when I was in high school, my family had a total loss.
Oh my.
I've went through it myself, and it's so, I was just thinking out loud, if I was in that situation, imagine our insurance people showing up to the house fire. How much better would that have made me feel because I'm with someone local that's there to support and work through it? Unfortunately for me, I had to call and talk to a bunch of people over the phone and different things like that to try to figure it all out. And I just think that it's, believe it or not, I've actually had two. Thinking through it, because I've done it.
You're sounding pretty high risk.
Right, yeah. One of them was a rental house of mine, and then one of them was our personal house when I was a kid in high school. So. Wow. I just think that going through that, and I think sometimes we don't think about if that happens to us, because that'll never happen to us, right? And we don't think about what would that look like if that were to happen. And I think it's so important, if you're watching this, just to think through, if something were to happen, who do you have in your corner? Do you have someone that supports local, that's always there, that have great staff and great people that are there to support you when you are in those difficult times if they were to happen? I mean, it's an insurance policy that is there to have your back, and you have the right people backing it in case something were to happen.
Boy, you couldn't have said it any better. It's not always the drastic fire. It's hand holding and guidance. We have a lot of hail that comes through this area. It just comes to my mind.
Yeah.
They call us asking for advice and guidance on whether we open a claim, and we send them to a local quality roofing contractor of their choice. Get their opinion first. Mm-hmm. If they believe your home is damaged, then come back and see me. Let's get you a claim open.
Yeah.
We don't want you to have a claim open for no reason. If you call 1-800, they're going to say, open a claim, here's your claim number, boom. And then if there's no hail, you have a claim out there that doesn't look so good on your part.
Yeah, and that could hurt you in the future, right?
Exactly.
So next, Tony, I'd like to talk about insurance and pricing, because we see all these commercials online, these 1-800 insurance companies that they are promoting cheaper. I live life by cheaper doesn't always mean better. And especially whenever you are thinking of something as important as, you mentioned, a total loss house fire or hail damage on your roof or whatever it may be that you, unfortunately, something happens in your life, you need insurance. At that point in time, I'd be willing to bet a lot of people wouldn't have wish they went with the cheaper route, because if you do need it, you need that quality, not just the pricing of the cheap. And I would love for you to talk a little bit about that.
I don't know of anything that you can buy that you're going to get the best and the cheapest. We're competitive in pretty close to every situation. I tell people up front, we are not the cheapest. We will not be the cheapest. We are very competitive. At times, the market changes. We may be saving you more money than normal. Other times, we may be a little bit higher than normal.
Sure.
I guess I was told early on in this business, and I've been doing it now for 30 years, started in 93, that over a 5 or a 10-year cycle, we're going to adjust up and down to where we're within 10% of any other quality company. We may be 20% low for a little while. We may be 20% high for a little while, but if you stretch that out long enough, we're going to be very close to each other.
Yeah, and I think something that's important is the value, not the price.
Bingo.
What are you actually getting? And so I don't know insurance lingo, but I know I have insurance on things that I own. You can insurance things for a cheap price. So I'm in real estate. So if you buy a home, you can get it insured for a cheaper policy. But then also if something were to happen, you also don't get the same benefit. Exactly. And so I think it's important that people just get a second opinion. Talk to someone that is willing to go in depth into their policy so they can create a plan for if something were to happen, you have someone in your corner.
We even have the policy in our agency. It's not a company policy, but it's my agency policy that before we insure any property at all, I go see it and touch it. I need to know that the property fits our guidelines, because I don't want to insure it. 30 days later, they send a survey out and then they come along and cancel it.
Yeah.
I've had that happen from other companies so many times, and then they come to us saying, oh my gosh, I need insurance in 2 days.
Yeah.
We don't typically find a way to do that through American Family, but I have a brokerage company. I can do that through a dozen other companies for the property that doesn't fit a normal policy.
Okay.
So we go see it, touch it. If it's far enough away, I may call a friend in.
Yeah.
If I don't have an easy resource, it just may be a reason for me to have a day out of the office.
Yeah, I think that's very that shows the service that you guys deliver, because what you said, I don't know if you guys caught that, but what he said is he does that so that he can see it and feel it and touch it, but also so that it doesn't go 30 days down the road and it's last minute you need insurance policy and, oh, by the way, we can't give you insurance on this, so now good luck, you got 2 days.
Correct. There's all kinds of little things that we're able to step up and do. It's not hardly a week goes by that somebody doesn't urgently need an insurance card. They forgot it, they lost it, they're running out of time to get their car license or something.
I may have been that person at a time or 10.
Pouring down rain, they can come on through our drive-through window. We can hand them one out the window. They stay dry. We've just driven and met them. I've driven down a motor vehicle, met them down there. We fax, scan, eat, whatever. Show up at the scene of an accident. They call you. They're all upset. Go calm them down. We can't be there every time for everybody, but when we can, we are.
I think the service really matters, and I think that's important. That's again one of the reasons that you have such a great name in the community, and we are blessed to have you as one of our trusted vendors.
Appreciate that. We wouldn't be that good if it wasn't for a couple of the ladies that are currently hiding out because they didn't want to be in the video. But Katie's been with me for a very long time, Emily for a very long time. They have done a phenomenal job. To be real honest, people come in to see them more than they come in to see me, and I don't blame them. And we also have then Mark Martin, who's been on board now for a little over a year and doing a bang-up job for us.
I love that. I think that shows the power of having great people in your organization, right? And it's the relationships that you build in your company expand out to your company and your customers.
I think that the relationship business that we're in starts with us having a relationship within these four walls. And we do a lot of fun little things together to kind of just team building, bonding, the different words that we all hear about it, but try to do little things, let them know how much I appreciate them. And I think that in turn shows to our clients.
Absolutely. So Tony, obviously I'm in the business of real estate, and so we've talked a lot about houses, but I know you guys do so much more than that. So I'd love for you to share with the viewers, what are some other things, the services that you offer?
Sure, of course, it's the standard, the home insurance, auto insurance, certain commercial lines of insurance, farm and ranch, life insurance. Honestly, life insurance is probably one of my favorite things to work on, and that's largely because if you're buying a home, you have to have insurance on it.
Sure.
If you're driving a car, you have to have insurance on it. People tend to put life insurance on a back burner, and when they call my office and say, so-and-so just died, did they have life insurance with you? I want to make sure we can at least say whether the answer is yes or no, I know that I can go back in my notes and see that we've offered it, because they don't get offered that just from everybody.
Yeah, I think that's important too, and it goes back to the service that you guys provide. Is that, and I think if you guys listen to how Tony speaks, the intent that he has with these things, he doesn't do life insurance because he wants to sell you another policy. It's because he doesn't want to get that phone call when life happens to all of us and be like, man, I wish I would have offered them life insurance, because now what is their family going to do?
Two of the most emotional things I went through in this business was being able to hand a widow with 3 children a $500,000 check that they had just taken a policy out about 3 months earlier.
Wow.
And then the worst was a client and friend who had said no for 3 or 4 years, and then suddenly was diagnosed with terminal cancer and couldn't get life insurance and had little children at home.
Yeah.
He had a small amount at work, but not nearly enough to take care of what he needed.
Yeah, I think it's just important. If any of this spoke to you, whether any of the services they offer, again, we do these videos to spotlight the people in the community that we support. And if you're watching this, you're following us, hopefully we have had an impact on your life. We are recommending Tony and American Family, their whole company. They're good people doing great things for our community. So reach out. They are here to help and support you.
Very good. Matt, appreciate it.
Thanks, Tony.
Thank you.